Third myth, and this is an interesting one. There is only one definition of failure or success. Again, not true. Very often, people have very narrow or very different definitions of success or failure than you might have. Take the example of movies. The Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, Blade Runner, The Shawshank Redemption, and Citizen Kane. All of these examples of movies that were commercial flops when they were released. But they went on to become critically acclaimed movies that are very often in the all-time favorite lists. So they may have failed one definition of success, that of box office returns, but they succeeded on so many other levels. History is full of examples of events that at the time were seen as spectacular failures, but were seen with a very different light in hindsight. In 480 BC, at the Battle of Thermopylae, the Persian army of Xerxes significantly outnumbered the small but courageous Greek army led by King Leonidas of Sparta. Stubbornly resisting the onslaught of the Persians for days, the Greeks were eventually betrayed and outflanked. King Leonidas, knowing that their time was up, dismissed the majority of the Greek army but stayed behind with 300 Spartans for a last stand. The Spartans fought valiantly till every last one of them was killed, including King Leonidas. They had lost, but history considers them winners by remembering them for their skill, their bravery, and their sacrifice. The fourth myth, failure is final. When we change our view of failure, then we accept responsibility and move on. If success is not permanent, then why should we think failure is? When in 1965, Malaysia expelled Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, who was to become Singapore's first Prime Minister, was extremely disheartened. He had championed the merger with Malaysia, and its failure may have seemed a virtual death blow to the struggling island nation. He also had to face race riots, high unemployment, low levels of education amongst Singaporeans, and rampant political corruption. But even with these problems, he refused to see failure as final. Instead, he worked rapidly to take Singapore from being an underdeveloped country to a first world country in a single generation. That is the mark of a true leader, to find solutions even if it's through trial and error, and move forward despite setbacks. So, let's summarize. Let us accept that life is a mixed bag. We will have some successes, but we will certainly face failures. To try to avoid failure will mean living life in fear, and that is not living life fully. Secondly, the shame is not in failing. It is in not trying. So we do not become failures just because we fail at something. Thirdly, failure is never final. In fact, failure presents significant opportunities for us to grow as persons and take ourselves to even greater levels of fulfillment. Wilma Rudolph, the great American Olympic athlete who started off life with a twisted leg as a child because of polio and who went on to phenomenal success in athletics, knew something about failure and success, and this is what she had to say. Winning is great, sure, but if you are really going to do something in life, the secret is learning how to lose. Nobody goes undefeated all the time. If you can pick up after a crushing defeat and go on to win again, you are going to be a champion someday. So let's congratulate ourselves every time we fail, because then we know for sure that we are on our way to success.
If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more of these informative videos.